Health economists are curious about what affects health outcomes. But did we ever think of health and economy and health economists GCC healthcare spending volume? GCC healthcare industry, Kuwait healthcare sector, medical tourism, and expectations. We will test the theory with our guest today.
Welcome back, dear viewers. What is health and economy are inextricably linked. Could investment in health and health systems be beneficial? Can health sector contribute to the economy? Investments in health and design of healthcare policies should be addressed in terms of the interaction between health and the economy. We will explore this idea and this approach through our guest. Let's all welcome your guest and my guest with a pleasure, Mr. Nader Saleh Al-Abeid, the expert in economic and financial affairs. Good morning. It's a real pleasure to have you, Mr. Al-Abeid.
Shukran. Thank you for the invitation, and the honor is mine.
Thank you. First of all, Mr. Saleh, Nader, honestly, you see, from the beginning of the introduction, it seems to me you have this beautiful approach and, or let's say, an idea outside the box. And that's definitely some way. But let's start with our question and then we can, proceed. Healthcare sector has witnessed global growth recent years. Does corona pandemic have a relationship in the growth of this sector? And how can we, when you say growth in this sector, which means, I don't know, I sense that you have the idea that we can make the health sector as a profitable source to our economy.
First of all, thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about this topic. And we are talking about healthcare, but I'm coming from economic point of view and financial expert in that. When we analyze the healthcare industry worldwide, we've seen now the healthcare, it used to be a treatment for illness and with a reactive approach. Nowadays we see it as an investment.
Okay.
Especially with the new technology, now we see the robot, we see the
robotic surgeries,
we see
microscopic surgeries.
So the concept is becoming completely different. Now, definitely, whenever there is a growth and opportunity for business to grow, usually investors are there. Now, we see it from as a government or private sector.
Okay.
The last 10 years, we have noticed that this industry has become a moneymaker for the investors and the drivers for that market. Definitely, COVID-19 and some crises reflected in that. Now, collecting the information.
I see now. Now I got your point.
We see people would like to capitalize on what being invested, and definitely now we see COVID-19 reflected some, let's say, struggle in some of the infrastructure for certain country. So it gave them the chance now to reinvest and to reposition themselves
their infrastructure
worldwide.
And absolutely.
So, since the pandemic and up to this moment, even the private sector is investing a lot. Now, if we see it in worldwide, when you see a return on investment with 9 to 12 to 15%, definitely it's attractive.
Absolutely.
It is attractive.
Absolutely.
And now we see
a win project.
And we see now even the research centers are investing a lot. So the whole investment, what we see, attractive for many countries now, whether you use the funds for expenditure or to benefit from them.
Okay.
Now, in Kuwait, let's say, since we are talking about the healthcare, we have seen a good revolution in infrastructure, nice building. We have reached now, up to this moment, around 17,000 beds. 17,000 beds.
Wow.
Which is a good infrastructure and attractive for investment.
Huge,
What we are saying here, the budget on the health sector, especially in Kuwait, cost us around 12 to 14 billion dollar annually. So with this infrastructure, why don't we, let's say, change our philosophy in the way of looking at the healthcare?
Absolutely.
Instead of having it as a cost, why don't we turn it into a profit center?
Okay.
How is that?
That's really a smart idea.
Because
and how would you implement that?
Well, we have specialized cities, which we call it medical cities. We see one in Jahra, which is the new one.
Absolutely.
We are talking about
huge.
1,200 beds, which is huge.
Absolutely.
Before that, Jabir al-Ahmed Hospital, we are talking about 1,000. Those numbers are big.
Big, yeah.
Around 700 or 800 in Al-Adan as a new.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah.
So we've been investing in that. What we are saying here as economists, why don't we turn it into a profit center to support the economy of Kuwait?
Oh, how? That's really a nice approach, and definitely it's a bright idea. But how would you do that, Mr.
Last month, I was honored in participating as a speaker in one of the forums here in Kuwait in September.
Health forums, yeah.
Yeah, health forum, and was under the supervision of
the Health Ministry?
Ministry of Health and U.S. Embassy.
Nice.
There were 12 top-of-the-line hospitals participating and attending to that, marketing their services in the region.
Okay.
We said, why don't we take the advantage of tying up as strategic partners and use them to operate those nice buildings?
So outsource
the whole business and let the ministry become
a supervisor
or regulator. Why is that? Because in the international standard, if you are the operator and you are the regulator, there is a conflict of interest.
Absolutely.
So what we are saying now,
turn a blind eye about.
So what we are saying, okay, why don't we take this sector to another level, constructively, and becoming a hub for even medical tourism? Why not? Why is that? Because the medical tourism.
Who's the countries in the medical tourism are really well known?
Well, actually, you see now Thailand is becoming internationally recognized. You see now Republic of Czech Republic and the Eastern countries, Europe, they are into rehab. And
in the Gulf?
In the Gulf, well, we see now UAE and Qatar, they are well recognized internationally. Now Saudi Arabia is opening up to receive investor in the healthcare. So what we are saying now, the concept and the idea for investors, why don't we play that role and bring players and let the healthcare sector become the driver or one of the drivers for diversification for the economy.
That's really smart, Mr. Nader. Honestly, so what you're saying in a plain, let's say, words, for our viewers, you're saying let the well-known hospitals in U.S., UK, France, Germany come to Kuwait and take these hospitals and operate them. And we, as Kuwaiti government or health ministry, we regulate and supervise, this. And this will give instead being expenditure source becomes profitable source by that time. Am I correct?
That's right. And what's the benefit of bringing such good names as hospitals and even
Ohio
schools?
Cleveland Clinic, and for
The
example,
benefit is transfer of knowledge,
uh-huh.
creating a professional culture. It's
I
a
see.
good coaching process even for the practitioner here in Kuwait. Instead of sending them abroad,
Exactly.
now you're going to be at the hub for
Exactly.
even the GCC
Exactly.
citizen to maximize the benefit of this hub. So I think this is very important.
Definitely, even from the patient point of view, because I know a lot of people, frankly, they hate to go out because they'll be away from their children and grandchildren. So he would rather to be treated here in Kuwait, and between his family every day they see them. If God's, takes his, his life, for example, this is God's creations, at least he was, every day with his, family, instead of being alone there with one person of his family. So that's definitely one way to look at it. And how do you see the responses of these big names out there?
Well,
Do they have the interest to be in Kuwait?
you see, in principle, being here in the last event last month,
Yeah.
when we get the chance to communicate with them, definitely they are willing to participate, be recognized with the existence in different regions. Besides that, the GCC is becoming now a very attractive area worldwide.
Exactly.
So why? Because of the regulations, because of
Stable governments. Yeah. Peace.
and in a way we are improving the ranking worldwide and the international standard as Kuwait with the healthcare,
That's true.
sector, because it's becoming an industry. Now we as a government we outsourced many sectors like the financial sector. What did we do? The government used to own most of the Kuwaiti banks.
Okay.
Now most of them are free.
Yeah,
People
they're private. Yeah.
Private, but look at the standard.
Oh yeah.
Now the financial sector is well recognized worldwide,
Absolutely.
and in terms of risk, in terms of credibility, and infrastructure, and so even now, as a patient or as a client or a receiver for the service. I don't care whether the service is coming from the government or from
exactly.
the private.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, when it comes to expense, the government can buy the service from the private sector
and make
in
it
a very competitive rate.
I see.
And let the market open with that's what happened in the banking sector. You see, the competition is very healthy. That's why you see the Kuwaiti banks are
very strong, and successful. That's true.
Definitely, there is maybe a hesitation regarding the
Yeah, because it's a new step. Yeah.
The Kuwaitization. People would say if we privatize the private sector, the health sector, what are we going to do with the Kuwaiti employees?
Yeah.
I think what happened in the financial can be reflected in the health sector.
Okay,
we see it even now in the communication.
Exactly.
In the communication sector, the Kuwaiti percentage, the Kuwaitis in the communication sector is 56%.
Yeah, which is
in the banking sector 70%.
70%, which is good.
So there is no hesitation of outsourcing.
And definitely we will have more better service, more professional services. Definitely our hospitals and doctors will be more reliable. Definitely. Unfortunately, Mr. Nader, Saleh Al-Abeid, we are really out of time, but definitely it's really worth it, and it's a pleasure to really have you with us in Good Morning Kuwait, and you enlightened us honestly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dear viewers, we'll go for a break, and after that, definitely we'll be back with wrapping up the episode.